How did Zendaya overcome her struggle with anxiety to play an iconic role in Euphoria? What groundbreaking demands did she make Disney agree to when starring on their hit shows? And how did a single performance on Ellen set back her entire music career? Hi, I'm Dan, and we're about to explore all of the shocking challenges Zendaya had to face from her Disney darling days before turning into an Emmy-winning megastar. Making the most of a failed audition. While you may think that Zendaya's astronomical rise to stardom kicked off on Disney, you're slightly mistaken. Her incredible career stretches back to a series of appearances she made as an extra in iCarly toy commercials. Zendaya also made a couple background dancer cameos in some Selena Gomez music videos. Although her actual first taste of the arts came in the form of an elementary school play called Jack and the Giant Peach. This is where Zendaya got a glimpse of how tough acting can really be. Unfortunately, the audition didn't go so well. While she did try out for the lead role, Zendaya had to settle for a part as a silkworm that had absolutely no lines. So how did she react when it came to her audition not going the way she'd hoped? Better than you'd expect, actually. For most people, failing an audition would spell disappointment for a hopeful young star. But Zendaya was an exception. Instead of sulking in her silkworm outfit, she chose to be way more positive about the experience. In her own words, she absolutely killed it and became the best dang silkworm there ever was. This level of optimism would later do her well as the years went by, but as she became more exposed to the pressures of the entertainment industry, the more anxiety began to enter her life. Dealing with the difficult Disney days. Being a child star is not easy business, thanks to the number of responsibilities and demands the actors face. Unfortunately, Zendaya found that out following her breakout role on the Disney Channel. Her first real experience with fame arrived with the Disney hit Shake It Up. The show focused on two teenage backup dancers, and with more than enough experience in that field, it was a perfect fit for Zendaya. But it didn't work out the way she might have expected either. Zendaya initially auditioned for the co-starring role of Cece. Unfortunately, she didn't get it. Her eventual co-star on the show, Bella Thorne, was cast instead. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. Producers and executives of the series adored Zendaya so much that they offered her the role of Cece's best friend, Rocky Blue, which set the actress on her way towards serious fame. The combination of Zendaya and Bella proved to be a success, as Shake It Up ran for 3 seasons. During this crucial time, Zendaya's star began rising with every pop and lock she brought to her exciting performances on the hit show. However, the more her star rose to the top, the more she found herself feeling uneasy over which direction her Disney career was being taken. The troubled music journey. Similar to other Disney alumni like the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus, Zendaya also decided to pursue a career in music. Unfortunately, that unraveled an enormous amount of anxiety that she had never experienced before. Shortly after the success of Shake It Up, Disney kicked off Zendaya's music career with the release of singles and even a self-titled album. Part of the deal with Disney required her to perform live to promote her music. What most people didn't know, however, was that singing live proved to be Zendaya's Achilles heel that piqued her anxiety. It went from being a struggle that only reared its ugly head when she performed live, to seeping its way into her everyday life, too. She's admitted that even as an adult, she finds herself calling her mother at random hours of the night to help her sleep while suffering from random panic attacks. So the feeling by no means disappeared with age. However, this struggle first truly came to light during her teenage years as a singer. The most notable incident that triggered this emotion was right before she performed on Ellen. This, amongst other things, became the catalyst for why Zendaya couldn't pursue a real music career. Knowing that it wasn't something she could just overcome overnight, the star dug deep to find a way of dealing with her surfacing emotions. Zendaya found that she never battled with this feeling when standing in front of a camera. In a way, acting gave her confidence and comfort more than anything else did. And so, Zendaya made the choice to turn to acting full-time. That's why soon after Shake It Up came to an end, she was back at Disney to star on a brand new show. However, things were a little different this time around compared to the first time she auditioned for a lead role. Zendaya finds her voice. For her next big endeavor, Zendaya found herself wanting to be more than a teenage star. Having worked on the channel before, she wasn't that happy about her experience for one main representation-related reason, and upon returning to Disney, she decided to use her power to shake things up a little. KC Undercover had Zendaya playing a teenage girl who happens to be an undercover spy, but this wasn't a matter of Zendaya simply auditioning to get the role. This time, she came with her own terms. What exactly were the conditions she proposed to Disney? Turns out they were groundbreaking. From being a background extra, Zendaya told Disney she would take the role only if she had more power over the creative direction of the series. Yep, seems like she was no longer taking a back seat to her own career. On screen, Zendaya fought some seriously evil baddies, but behind the scenes, she was fighting for more visible representation and diversity by demanding more people of color be involved in the show, both in front of and behind the camera. Disney obviously took her demands seriously, as Zendaya didn't just play the role of KC on the show, she also received a producer credit throughout the series' 3-year run. It was clear that the young star who had struggled to sing to a live audience was finally able to use her voice in a powerful way. But in her own words, taking on acting full-time didn't necessarily rid her of all of her anxiety. It was more of a way to keep it all in check. This proved to work wonders as bigger roles came her way, and these were roles that would turn her from a Disney darling into a superstar. The Greatest Showgirl sings again? A couple of years after KC Undercover ended, she not only caught the eye of Marvel Studios to star as the iconic MJ in the rebooted Spider-Man franchise, but she was also able to channel her love of dance, performance, and music into her role of Anne in the musical movie The Greatest Showman. But how exactly did someone who battled with a fear of singing in general manage to get a defining role in such a massive musical? Thankfully, she didn't have to sing live for the audition. Instead, she showed up to her audition and played a cover of the song featured in the movie called Rewrite the Stars, one that she had pre-recorded. Director Michael Gracey loved her singing so much, he automatically cast her in the epic role. Zendaya recorded several songs from the movie and performed many of them on set too, proving she was at least managing the pressures of singing live that slowed down her music career years before. Many speculated that the film would mark her return to the world of music, but after making a few features on songs by Prince, Bruno Mars, and Chris Brown, she made it known that she was taking a break from music indefinitely. She admitted how drained she was by the industry, but further speculation revealed that she was at an indifference with her record label over issues of royalties and crooked contract deals. Zendaya also stated that the music industry had removed her passion for music almost entirely, which had made the decision a little easier for her. She then went full steam ahead into her acting career, and sooner rather than later found herself in a state of complete euphoria. A state of euphoria. Years after her first dance with Disney, Zendaya was cast as Rue in the looming HBO hit Euphoria. In what must feel like a full-circle role, Rue is a character dealing with depression, drug addiction, and, you guessed it, anxiety. Having been someone who knew the feeling so intimately, this was a role made for Zendaya. But how exactly did she manage to take her most debilitating struggle and channel it into one of her most important characters? It was definitely a difficult step for her to take. Thanks to years of making movies and television that helped her control her anxiety, Zendaya struck the perfect balance of scoring a role that allowed her to address her struggle while also doing the one thing that helped her deal with it in the first place: acting. Ironically, Zendaya credits Rue for giving her more confidence in her abilities than she's ever had. By knowing exactly what her character was going through to an extent, she managed to use it to play the role in the most honest way possible. Critics and fans around the world obviously agree, as her stellar performances week in and week out earned her her first Emmy nod and win, making the star the youngest winner in the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama category. It's safe to say that Zendaya has been able to face her biggest challenge. Instead of letting it become something she fears, she's managed to conquer it and build a pretty awesome career along the way. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out what other famous actress the beloved Emma Watson had to struggle through for her biggest roles. Subscribe to our channel and stay awesome.